Today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we have Jonathan Andresen, who is the Senior Director of Marketing at Bitglass. Bitglass is a cybersecurity company that delivers data and threat protection and operates at cloud scale across a global network of over 200 points of presence. So welcome to the Jam, Jonathan.
Hey, well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So to start off, for someone unfamiliar with Bitglass, what are your key products and offerings?
Sure. So Bitglass is a total cloud security provider, and we help companies move away from legacy security infrastructure to more modern security technologies built on things like the cloud access security brokers, CASB technology. We recently launched a secure web gateway technology called SmartEdge. We provide zero trust network access as well to make sure that only the right data is accessed by the right people, applications, and devices. So we really have a comprehensive platform that companies can use if they're moving to cloud services where their data is sort of outside the traditional data boundary and in someone else's data center, which it typically is for cloud services.
Right. And we're going to be talking a lot about insider attacks today.
Sure.
So
Right.
Bitglass recently released a report that found 61% of companies have suffered an insider attack in the last year. So could you tell me why you think that number is so high, and is this number an increase from previous years?
A good question. It actually is higher, and it really has to do with three things that are happening concurrently for a lot of companies and most of the industry. The first is we're moving toward more and more cloud services, and cloud services, the migration to cloud services is going very quickly. And what that means is your data is now in someone else's data center. And it's very hard to see that data and see what the user's doing when they're accessing that data. So visibility becomes a major challenge. And you add on top of that migration to cloud services, the increase in remote working happening today, where people are using their own devices, a lot of mobile devices, they have multiple devices. And so that's making it more challenging for IT to sort of get their head around. Each user is now got multiple devices, accessing multiple types of cloud services, and they're doing it in real time. And how do we see those transactions in real time, and how do we ensure that the data is accessed correctly? It's a big challenge for a lot of companies today. Right.
And what is it that makes insider attacks so hard to detect and to protect from?
I think the key thing is visibility. It's funny that, in our report, we found that, 88% of respondents said that they think unified security and visibility is very important to see insider activities and insider threats. But 61% said they don't have such tools to be able to see what the user's doing inside those cloud applications. And so that lack of visibility is a real challenge for companies. If they can't see inside that data and they can't see it in real time, it becomes a real challenge. And it's not just the detecting, it's also what do you do about it when you found it and the time it takes to actually detect and remediate these threats. I mean, in our survey, we found that 50% of respondents say it takes a week to detect an insider threat. And another almost 50% says it takes a second week to actually remediate and fix the problem after that threat has occurred. So the time lag is important. In that time frame, a lot of data can be lost. And in the world of cloud services, once data is outside of our data center and outside of our data boundary, it's lost forever.
Right. So yeah, they're definitely increasing and proliferating. So could you tell me what some of the best practices are that should be employed by companies wishing to avoid these kind of attacks?
Well, the first thing is to recognize that this type of environment we're in, where we're moving to cloud services, where we've got more and more remote workers, BYOD is prevalent right now. And it's not just people at our company using their own devices, it's external workers, contractors, suppliers, all using their own devices that may or may not be secured. So the first thing to say to companies is we need to see where our data is. And finding out where our data is the first problem. And the second problem is what do we do about it once we know where it is? So if you don't know where your data is and how it's being accessed, it's a very big problem. In the world of digital transformation and cloud, the security challenge shifts from the data to the identity of the user, of the device, and the access model that you choose. So having that visibility is paramount. And if you can see that data and how the user is accessing that data from what device, what application, and have that context, that's a very big step to being able to make sure that the data is secure. And typically, we advise companies to look for a solution that's in a single console that brings that data together so it's easy to find, it's backed by machine learning, and it sort of puts that data together so it's easy for companies to track it and to manage it and to make sure that their data is secure.
Right. And what solution specifically does Bitglass offer to combat insider attacks?
So we have a range of solutions. The foundation for our overall platform is really a secure access service edge, or SASE platform. And that's a new term that Gartner coined about a year ago. And what that really means is we're combining cloud security with network security at the edge. And that's really the new type of platform companies need to be agile, have a sort of agile security posture so that we make sure users are secure, but they can still do their job quickly and efficiently. Our platform is based on that SASE architecture. And foundational to the SASE architecture is a key component called Cloud Access Security Brokers, CASB. And I mean, Gartner calls this CASB technology the firewall for the cloud. So it's very important to have a technology that's able to see data in the cloud services that people are using, that are sanctioned by your company, and even cloud services that are not sanctioned, and all that data, and be able to not just see it, but make sure it's secure, and have a single control point that's able to see and control that data, and have a strong policy engine so you can customize access to your business. That's the first thing. The second technology we recently came out with is a secure web gateway called SmartEdge. And this is a very novel, I think, industry first technology where we actually proxy the gateway on the device. It's an industry first, and it's very comprehensive in how we do secure web gateways. I mean, secure web gateways provide web security. They've been around for many years, but they typically mean that you have to backhaul the traffic to the data center to inspect that web traffic and make sure it's secure. We've actually put it on the device, so it's much faster to do that inspection and much more cost effective to not backhaul that traffic back to the data center. So it's a very innovative way that uses the best of edge computing with cloud security and delivers a cloud delivered secure web gateway on the device. And those two areas are foundational to what we call SASE technology again. And the third is zero trust network access. We want to make sure that in today's world of cloud services, remote working, BYOD, only the right data is accessed by the right users on the right applications and devices and across the right networks. We don't trust anything. We make sure that we check each time that data is accessed. And those are three components of a SASE technology that would encourage customers and companies to look at as they're planning for 2021.
Right, yeah. And just finally, if a partner or enterprise end user wanted to engage with Bitglass, what is the best way to get in contact?
We have a team in Australia and across Asia. You can just look at our website. We have local contact information there. We have distributors and we have resellers and partners in Australia as well that work with us daily. You can contact any one of those, and we'd be happy to talk to you about how we could help you secure your data.
Perfect, thank you. Well, that concludes today's 10-minute IT Jam with Bitglass Senior Director of Marketing, Jonathan Andresen. Thank you so much for chatting with me today, Jonathan.
Thanks. Have a great day. See you.